School can be a lot. There's my work, study, job, classes, and homework. This on top of hanging out with my friends and my family can sometimes make it hard to do the things that I love. However, I try and schedule some time every week for my hobbies. It could take me a full 5 minutes just to list them all, but a few of my favorites include knitting, reading, and baking. First, I love to knit. My sister taught me when I was 15, and I have been obsessed ever since. I like to knit when listening to music or watching TV in my room. I like to make hats, mittens, and blankets. To be completely honest, the only thing I don't like making is a scarf. They're kind of boring, and I don't even like wearing them, so it doesn't really make that much sense for me to make something that's going to sit in my closet forever. Knitting is super fulfilling, and I try to knit for a few days every week. However, I do knit way more in the winter than I do in the summer. Believe it or not, knitting is not that fun when you have a ton of yarn on your lap and it's 90 degrees outside. It can get a little sweaty. Next, I love reading. My favorite genres are science fiction and fantasy, but I love reading things in tons of different genres. Reading has been a hobby of mine for as long as I can remember. When I was a kid, I would sometimes read for 2 or 3 hours a day. But unfortunately, I do not have as much time as I used to. I still try and read a book for a few minutes a day, and the one way I've found to make it easier is that I listen to audiobooks. Some people do not like audiobooks, but I do not understand this at all. Now, instead of having to sit down to read a book, I can also read a book while driving or cleaning, mowing the lawn, or even knitting, and it's so much easier to fit into my schedule. Audiobooks and paper books are both great ways to experience a story, and I am so glad to have them in my life. Lastly, I love to bake. This is a hobby that I've gotten into relatively recently. Growing up, I used to make chocolate chip cookies with my older sisters and help make pie for Thanksgiving, but I had never ventured any further to experiment with baking other things. Over the summer, I started trying out a few new recipes. I still make chocolate chip cookies sometimes, but I also have a variety of other things that I like to bake. Last weekend, I baked bread for the first time, and it was awesome. It was far from perfect, but I am looking forward to learning more about baking in the near future. In conclusion, hobbies are a vital part of my life. I'm a person who is easily bored, so I would be a bit more unhappy if I didn't have a variety of different activities to enjoy. However, they are more than just something that passes the time. I get a sense of accomplishment every time I knit a project, finish a book, or bake something new. Though some of these hobbies are old and some are new, they are all important to me, and I could not imagine my life without them.